Apple have just launched their eagerly anticipated new MacBook, and I've got one. So it's time for some first impressions. Apple certainly know about packaging, if nothing else. It seems a shame to throw it away. And first impressions on the design and finish front are that it's absolutely superb. It actually does feel all of a piece, as though it's carved out of a single block of aluminium. Now, whereas with most laptops, when you hold them up, you get a rather creaky sort of feel, this feels extremely solid. You can be very confident with it. It feels rather like a grown-up MacBook Air. At the same time, it's slightly thinner and slightly lighter than the older MacBook, which can only be a good thing. It also has this lovely sort of one covering to the screen. You don't get a separate frame round it, and that gives it a very classy appearance. And the sort of LED backlighting on the screen gives you stronger colours, better contrast, I think. I particularly like the built-in backlighting on the keyboard, which comes on when you're in dark situations. I find that a great help. And I've also, on first impressions, I'm impressed with the one-piece sort of trackpad and mouse. It actually gives you a larger area for the trackpad. It's supposedly made out of a glass material. It doesn't feel like one. And the fact that you press the whole pad down to operate the mouse seems to work very well. It also supports multi-touch, so if you open a photograph, you can easily zoom in and out or rotate it. All that sort of thing, which is excellent. The hardware is much improved. You get a 250GB hard drive, although there's also the option of a 128GB solid-state drive. You get the latest version of Intel's Centrino 2 platform, supporting a Core 2 Duo processor running at 2.4 GHz. There's 2GB of RAM, naturally, and a separate graphics card, the NVIDIA GeForce 9400M. Disappointingly, the battery is slightly smaller than on the old MacBook, which worries me slightly because I tended to only get about 2 hours or so out of my old MacBook. So if I was to get this, I think I might be in for a slightly reduced battery performance, even with the efficiency of that Intel processor. Now, there's always that trepidation on a new Apple product launch of what they've left out. Are they going to leave out something that's important for you? Well, happily, you can still replace the battery, so you can still carry a spare if you need to. Happily, there's also still an optical drive, although it's disappointing perhaps that it's not a Blu-ray one. But there are a few really disappointing omissions. I mean, the biggest one for me is the fact that there isn't a FireWire port. I often connect up a video camera to my old MacBook and edit on iMovie, which is really easy to use, and I still tend to shoot on tape for ease of archiving. And no FireWire, that's a real disadvantage. Also, Apple have chosen only to fit a mini display port. That'll mean carrying some extra adapter cables, say for HDMI or a monitor. On a first look then, a great design, but some significant drawbacks.